The screen door of the roadside diner groaned as it swung open, letting in a gust of dry wind and a trail of dust. Conversation quieted for half a second as a tall figure stepped inside. His boots hit the wooden floor with a steady, deliberate rhythm, each step punctuated by the faint jingle of spurs. He looked like he'd ridden straight out of the Old West, broad shoulders under a sun-bleached shirt, jeans faded from work and weather, and a Stetson hat pulled low enough to shadow most of his face. Dust clung to his clothes, but he carried himself with a quiet dignity, like a man who didn't mind dirt but never let it define him. Claire glanced up from behind the counter, wiping her hands on a dish towel. He was just another cowboy drifter, she thought. They wandered through town now and again, looking for coffee, a hot meal, and maybe a kind smile before they moved on. They never stayed. She poured black coffee into a chipped mug and slid it across the counter before he even asked. "Long day?" she asked lightly, expecting nothing more than a nod. But when he lifted his head to thank her, she caught a glimpse of his eyes, storm gray, piercing yet tired. Holding secrets he didn't seem willing to share. There was loneliness there too, carved deep like an old scar. Claire swallowed hard, caught off guard by the way just one look made her chest tighten. Still, she told herself, he was passing through. Men like him always were. The diner was half full, humming with the low murmur of ranch hands, truckers, and townsfolk winding down after long days. Most laughter and conversation came from a group of young cowboys crammed into a booth, joking over beers. But the drifter at the counter, he ate in silence. Claire found herself stealing glances as she refilled mugs and cleared plates. He didn't check his phone or try to strike up chatter. Instead, he studied the room with sharp awareness, like someone who had learned long ago to watch before he spoke. He ate slowly, deliberately, as though every bite reminded him he'd gone hungry before. When she set his check on the counter, she noticed the calluses on his hands. Hands that worked, not just wandered. He pulled out a plain leather wallet, the edges worn soft with years of use, and slipped more than enough cash beneath the receipt. "You don't have to tip like that," Claire said, frowning. Most men left a couple of coins at best. He looked up, a faint smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. "Ma'am, when you've gone without, you learn to be grateful. Don't worry about me." His voice was steady, low, and carried a kind of old-world courtesy Claire rarely heard anymore. She should have walked away, but something about him rooted her to the spot. She wanted to ask, where was he from, where was he headed, what had carved that loneliness into his eyes? But he only lowered his hat again, signaling the conversation was over. Claire pressed her lips together, hiding her curiosity. He was just another drifter, she reminded herself. Yet something deep down whispered, "No, this one's different." The late afternoon sun was sliding low when Claire's car sputtered and died on a lonely dirt road just outside town. She slammed the steering wheel, muttering under her breath. The hood hissed faintly, a curl of smoke rising as if mocking her. No cell signal, no traffic, just endless fields stretching into gold and shadows. She was about to start walking when the steady rhythm of hooves broke the silence. She turned, startled, and there he was, the cowboy from the diner. He rode a dark bay horse, sitting tall and sure in the saddle, reins loose in his hand as though horse and rider were one. "Need a hand?" he drawled, slowing his horse with a tug. Claire hesitated, brushing stray hair from her face. "Unless you've got a magic wand, I don't think you can fix this." Instead of answering, he dismounted with easy grace, boots landing firm in the dust. Rolling up his sleeves, he leaned under the hood without hesitation. His movements were confident, economical, as if fixing engines was just another chore, no harder than saddling a horse. Claire crossed her arms, half impressed, half annoyed at how easily he took control. Within minutes, the car coughed back to life. She blinked in disbelief. "Guess you're not just good at coffee and silence." This time, his smile reached his eyes, softening the hard lines of his face. "Guess not." Something lingered in the air between them then, unspoken but undeniable. Claire felt it tug at her, steady and dangerous, like the pull of a river current she hadn't expected to step into. And yet, she didn't want to step back. The town's harvest festival glowed with lanterns, laughter, and the scent of roasted corn. Families bustled through the square, children darted between stalls, and a local band strummed fiddles on the stage. Claire had been roped into serving pie slices, her apron dusted with flour when she spotted him. The cowboy wasn't sitting in the shadows this time. He stood near the mayor, shaking hands, speaking quietly with a presence that commanded attention without trying. Town leaders gravitated toward him not out of politeness but respect. Claire frowned, confused, until she caught the mayor's words. "Good to see you again, Mr. McGraw. Folks are saying your ranch just bought up the Eastern Valley. Half the state practically belongs to you now." Her heart skipped. "Mr. McGraw?" Her hand tightened on the pie knife. He wasn't just some quiet drifter passing through. He was that McGraw, the name every rancher knew. The man whose land stretched so far maps had to fold twice to contain it. The cowboy turned then as if he felt her stare. For a moment the noise of the festival dulled. His storm-gray eyes met hers, not proud, not boastful, just searching, vulnerable even. He stepped closer, lowering his voice as if the two of them were the only ones in the crowd. "I've had land," he said softly. "Cattle, wealth, all the things men are supposed to want." "But love?" His gaze lingered on her, steady and unflinching. "Haven't had that in years." Claire's breath caught. The pies, the music, the crowd, all of it blurred into the background. For the first time she realized the cowboy hadn't been hiding who he was. He'd been hiding what he needed. And somehow she knew she was standing at the edge of something that could change both their lives.